successful.
And into half guard. Dan trying to move back to full guard.
He's got jiu-jitsu skills. Spent some time
Look at this.
in the last few weeks with Matt Serra, but a purple belt in jiu-jitsu under Eddie Bravo.
Losing the mission control. The mission control, though, is stifled by George passing that one leg. Now George is in the half guard. He's got to do the same thing again.
What Hardy has worked for months on is, if you get taken down, how do you not get beat up? How do you not get submitted? And how do I work my way back to the feet?
Hardy looking to hip escape. He's past him. He's inside control. Not good for Dan Hardy.
90 seconds into the fight.
Hardy's got to pop out of this. He's got to be careful about giving up his back.
Trying to work its way up.
George has his back.
One hook,
He's
two.
got a hook.
Not good for Hardy at all. Great start for GSP.
Especially early. They're not slippery. He can control him. And Hardy is going to try to explode and turn towards George. George knows this. That's why he's keeping a tight over-under.
St. Pierre realizes he's got a lot of time to work from this position of dominance, Joe. Hardy's
He's going to get an armbar. He's going to turn it into an armbar. And Hardy's trying to get on top of him. And he does. Back up to their feet. George got a hold of him again. And right down.
But much better position. He's in guard again.
He's got to get that left leg out, Mike. And George passes it before he even gets a chance.
He just explodes from transition. Every round starts on its feet. Dan Hardy just hopes every round doesn't start 14 seconds in with a takedown by St. Pierre. If we get there.
Well, it's going to be hard to stop that shot. He's got the best shot in the game. Dan wants to get that left leg out from in between the legs, and George realizes it. Pops over further to the side.
See if he can get that left leg out.
Yeah, he's going to push down with his right instep, pop out that left leg, and get the side control again. Hardy's going to time it and hip escape as he's trying to move. George has that head and arm control, though, and it keeps him from doing that. His leg's barely in here, and he's mounted him.
Hardy trying to get it back.
Hardy's got a quarter guard here. Nope, full mount.
120.
Full mount, locked out with grapevines.
Hardy trying to control. Doesn't want St. Pierre to posture up.
He's going to give up his back again. He's got to stand up and explode. He's got to shake him off the top.
1 minute, Joe.
Hardy has to shake him. George is a little high on this guard. He doesn't like it. He's a little high on the back. Hardy's got to turn towards him.
50 seconds. Got the hooks in. Not a lot of damage being done. Obvious control, Joe.
But he's getting close and close. Dangerous, dangerous positions over and over again. The mount, the back.
And the submission can happen as dynamically as the knockout. As viciously and as subtly. Looking to get that arm. 20 seconds left in the round.
He's got it.
20 seconds. Looking for the arm bar. Can he finish? Hardy trying to hold on.
He turns off him.
Nicely done, Dan Hardy. Wow. And he got up with a big smile on his face. But George was cranking on him.
Wow, what a round.
Round two.
Let's keep an eye on Dan Hardy's right arm. See if he throws right hands.
Took about 14 seconds in round one for the first takedown attempt. See how long GSP waits here.
The incredible thing about George is how fast that shot comes and how much distance distance he covers.
That's that elite athlete in which he is. That much quicker and more powerful than most of the world. Hardy looking for that big left hook. That's his baby. St. Pierre is an outstanding striker. But this becomes a much more even fight if it stays here.
Well, he's so technical on his feet in every aspect of the game, really. But his technique is so crisp on his feet. His movement, leading people into certain techniques.
Hardy said, Joe, 25 minutes if it does go there. 25 minutes with my hands on his face. See if he takes advantage of the opportunity here at the start of round 2. Fight was almost finished by St. Pierre in round 1. Single.
Look how fast he gets him going. I mean, that is so impressive. Especially when you consider that he never competed as a wrestler in high school or college. I mean, that's just amazing.
Trying to get the mount again. And if he does crank on that arm, as you said, how much was it compromised in round 1?
Moved right into side control.
8-month layoff. Tore his abductor muscle in 3 places in his title defense against Thiago Alves.
Side control by George.
Watch for some knees.
It looks like he's moving to a mounted crucifix position. Keep an eye on, oh, he's got his back again. Hardy tries to scramble.
One hook.
He's got to shake him off the top, though. He's going to shake him off. Pop out of it. Hardy's got to be careful of his arm here.
St. Pierre's looking for it, Joe.
Same arm. And he's out. And Hardy's on top.
Let's see what happens here. In the guard of GSP, who has spent minimal time on his back in his UFC career.
Hardy's struggling to keep him down. George tried to hip escape there. George is hip escaping again, and he's out.
They're back to their feet. .140 remains in round 2. George switches up his stance. Hardy just looking for the opportunity. He's got to get in and out, though, so that he doesn't give St. Pierre the opportunity to shoot for another successful takedown. George was ready. Inside leg kick by St. Pierre.
Oh, good right hand.
1 minute. Superman punch. GSP now with the double.
Again.
Turn it into the single and again. Success.
Stop that.
35 seconds left in the round. Why is it nearly unstoppable?
He's just so good at it. I mean, his explosion, his athleticism, his ability to cover distance is just astonishing. Full guard here by Dan Hardy. Trying to get a high guard here. But as we saw in the BJ Penn fight, George is very aware of how to stop that. His posture is excellent. Always aware. And he can let Dan up and take him down 10 times in a row every round if he wanted to.
Fight! Third round.
interesting that Greg Jackson told George to not pass, to stay on top of him but not pass.
Posture up.
He just wanted him to ground and pound this round. Really interesting how they do that, how he has a very specific strategy for each individual round. I mean, he's just really a master strategist.
So much respect his fighters have for his ability to game plan, and not just game plan, but to adjust the fight plan as different things dictate needed adjustments in a matchup.
Full guard by Dan Hardy. George is doing also exactly what he said, stand up in the guard and drop down big shots.
There's a left, looking for the elbow.
And all this grappling is really going to wear down Dan Hardy's arms and legs and make it even more difficult for him to do damage when they're standing up. Just like George did in the BJ Penn fight.
And the John Fitch fight, and the Thiago Alves fight, and the Josh Koscheck fight.
I mean, he has just this amazing ability to neutralize opponents. I mean, Thiago Alves, one of the most feared strikers in any division, and George really neutralized that, never took any damage in the fight, and pretty much took him down whenever he wanted to.
Second Canadian following Carlos Newton in UFC history to hold the UFC championship. French Canadian,
Good elbow by
been on a roll. Hardy might have gotten poked in the eye, Joe. He's wiping out that eye now. He's really trying to rub it. Nearly armbarred early. St. Pierre with that wide base.
Moving back to full guard against Hardy. And George on top.
Midway point of the title fight.
And then you have to think right here is the reason why he hasn't passed the guard because he doesn't even try, you know? And now he passed just because Hardy tried to throw up a triangle. Moves into side control.
Just like that.
Just like that. I think he can do that anytime he wants. I mean, I think the reason why he didn't earlier is because Greg Jackson told him not to.
So all those great assets, and he listens to his coach.
Hardy trying to throw up a triangle from the bottom, but very, very hard to do. Kimura, George is looking for that left arm of Dan Hardy. See him controlling that wrist, trying to be sneaky about it, snuck that arm underneath. That's it, he's got it. He's going to turn it into an armbar, Mike. He's going to spin around. He's going to keep the weight on it. Hardy has to explode out of this. He's got to keep doing that. Explode and turn.
St. Pierre looking to set it up.
There he goes. He's out.
Good submission defense by Dan Hardy.
Now on the other side.
Yep.
More on the other side. Maybe Americana.
125. From the South Shore, St. Isidore, province of Quebec.
Hardy's up.
For how long?
2 seconds.
Yeah.
Not even.
Total control. Trying to rip that left leg out.
Side control again. You know, I mean, that is the story of this fight, is George's grappling ability. It's incredible.
First Brit to fight for a UFC title, Dan Hardy. 4-0 in the UFC.
And you see Dan Hardy with his mouth open, taking some big, deep breaths.
St. Pierre, 13-2 inside the octagon.
And it is so much more exhausting to be in the bottom position here. Both men are grappling, but George has gravity on his side. He has his weight pressing down on Dan. He's got his back again.
25 seconds.
And Dan's got to try to shake him off the top again. He's high. He's going to shake him off. He's going to shake him off. And Dan has to explode the moment there's a little tiny gap. Because George is not going to get this here. He's going to fall off of him. And Dan's got to pop out and just get out of there quick. He's going to turn into a leg lock. And he's using to sweep him. Beautiful. Just complete domination by George St. Pierre.
We're going to head to the championship rounds. Watch the hook. He's trying to land it.
Yeah.
Now, if you're Dan Hardy, you got
confused about that strategy, especially considering the fact that he's completely dominating him on the ground. I don't know why you would not want him to pass.
And Joe, if you're Dan Hardy, clock's the ticket.
Swing.
Clock's the ticket.
You
Start
gotta
swinging,
swing.
baby. Yeah.
Look at that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
And give all the credit to GSP because he does it to everybody.
Well, who else would you give the credit to?
No, I'm saying it's not that Dan Hardy doesn't have good takedown offenses.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
look
not
at that.
like he's trying to take advantage of something. He did it to John Fitch. He did it to Josh Koscheck.
And then the back again. And again, back to his feet. Drags him down the ground.
He's done it to world-class wrestlers throughout his career.
They're asking him to stand up. And Hardy a little tentative in like trying to grab for techniques. He recognizes that George is a superior grappler. And when you have any hesitation like that, you know, you got to believe that you can submit the guy. And I don't think he believes he can. He's going to try to go for a leg here. Hardy can roll into this knee bar here, Mike. See how he's got that leg, that one leg? And he's on top. Not for long, for a second. And because of George's posture, Dan Hardy is unable to utilize any of the rubber guard skills.
Looking for the ground and pound. Jackson saying don't pass, posture up as he's doing right here and do some damage. George has packed on about 10 pounds of lean muscle in the last 8 months. Walking around at about 195. He did walk around at 185.
And here's an interesting point, Mike. If this fight keeps going the way it's going, George is winning the fight, but there's never been any significant damage other than that one armbar attempt. So, you know, will George be happy with this victory? Because, you know, he said before the fight, he wants to make sure that he stops this guy. He's stacking him now. He's in a good position here to land some shots.
Went the distance with Fitch. 4 rounds with Penn, distance with Alves.
Side control again. Look for those big knees to the body that George likes to deliver. He gets up way high in the air and drives him down.
Nearly cranked the arm to completion very early in the fight.
You know, it is going to be so hard for anyone in this division to stop this. To stop this guy from taking you down, to stop his grappling. I mean, Dan's been able to defend himself fairly well on the ground to the point where he's not getting crushed. He hasn't gotten stopped yet, but can't stop him from putting him in this position. He's hip escaping, and George is right on top of him. He's got to look out for that Kimura. He's got to wrap it up. It's behind his back. He's stuck.
Looking for the finish here.
Very
trying to submit Dan Hardy. Can he do it?
Oh, it's bad. Dan's got a tap. He's got a tap.
He's trying to survive.
He's going to rip his arm off.
Man, that is one tough.
Oh!
Cranking it more. Hardy just trying to continue.
And he's got it there. There's over a minute to go.
St. Pierre.
I mean, he's just going to rest here, bide his time, and then yank it again.
118. Dan Hardy's one tough grip.
Oh, he got it. Incredible.
Again.
I'm amazed he got out of that. I thought he was going to rip his arm off.
Twice, this has been just megaseconds from being over. But it's the heart of Dan Hardy, which is why we continue, potentially, to the 5th and final round.
Dan regains half guard.
This is GSP 101. I mean, I said coming in, Joey had won 19 straight rounds. Gotta figure that streak has continued here so far, 4 rounds into this title fight. But But they'll start round 5 on the feet.
Spun around for a knee bar. Dan Hardy's got his legs triangle to defend it. Complete domination, 4 rounds in the hole.
Fight!
You gotta hit him now.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of advice is that?
Good advice. I
guess.
Can you do it?
I mean, yeah, the other thing about Dan Hardy is he stands very upright. You know, he's got that Muay Thai stance, which is, you know. And now George is jacking him on the feet.
And again.
Cannot stop it. More
Now,
of
the
the
running
same.
takedown has been avoided.
Not only has it not been avoided, it hasn't even been, like, prolonged.
Contested, right?
Yeah. It hasn't delayed. They're instantaneous. I mean, unfortunately, as it stands now, it's exact. Look at that, trying that triangle attempt, and George just shrugs it off. He's just getting outclassed.
So is the rest of the world over the last few years by this kid.
Stepping over, looking for an arm again. That right arm, and Dan's got to be careful connecting his arms like that. Because if George gets an arm in between there, you let it go, and Dan's gonna try to stand up, but George is so good at controlling him.
Be interesting to see if Hardy does get another chance to stand up.
Well, you know, there's no quitting Dan Hardy. It's just a matter of technical superiority.
He's just on a different level.
You know, I mean, what kind of advice could you give to Dan Hardy at this point? There's nothing he can do.
I mean, he said with the Hughes fight years ago he wasn't ready mentally. He got caught by Serra. Other than that, never lost.
He's grabbing a hold of the leg here,
Don't
Mike.
shorts!
13-2 in the octagon.
And George now knows he's got to finish this fight. He wants to finish him. He's got that Kimura again. This time from the half guard. Now he's doing the revert. Oh, man. Had it fully, completely locked out.
Just a clinic.
You know what? If you won't tap the arm bars or Kimuras, he's got to try to put him to sleep. Tried for an Americana. Dan gets out of it. At this point in time, maybe George, I mean, if he really wants to finish it, maybe he should look for a choke. Because I think he can break Dan Hardy's arm. He's not going to tap.
Looking to extend his winning streak to 7, St. Pierre.
1:40 to go. Total, complete domination by George St. Pierre.
Never a moment of question.
Again, trying for that Kimura. He's got it wrapped up. Can't get it.
70 seconds.
Arm triangle. That left hand is stopping that.
St. Pierre said Hardy's the most dangerous guy I have faced yet. And he was
Side
never in
control.
danger, Joe.
Not even a little bit. Side control is going to work on that Kimura again. Knees to the body. Looking for that right arm. Excuse me, left arm.
Hardy almost had his arm ripped off a couple times, but not a ton of damage, as you said. But still, never in position to win this fight.
Now George has got his back. 30 seconds to go. Can he finish? Up in the air and down.
Why not? One more time. Just for good measure. Elbow. Body shots. 15 seconds now remains in our main event of the evening. It's about to go the distance. And he's about to leave the octagon the same way he entered, as the undisputed UFC welterweight champion of the world. What a performance by George Rush St. Pierre. Great show.
Respect. And here's the armbar, and you know, look how far locked out that is. And why? Look at the face of Dan Hardy, and George is just turning that arm and twisting it and yanking on it. Look at that right there. Ah, man, that is locked out. Amazing. Amazing that Hardy didn't tap or that his arm didn't snap. And Hardy gets out of it. Now here's the Kimura attempt. Pops it up, twists it way, way back. Oh man, that is nasty. Dan Hardy just refused to tap. Tough as nails, but you know what? At the end of the day, he was dominated.
Judges will render their decision. It will be no surprise. St. Pierre coming off that 8-month layoff, in full control for 25 minutes here tonight in our main event of the evening. With the official decision, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. Judge Crosby scores it 50-43. Judge Blatnick has it 50-44. And Judge Urso has it 50-45 for the winner by unanimous decision, and still the undisputed UFC welterweight champion of the world, George Rush St. Pierre!
George in disbelief right now that Hardy didn't tap. That's awesome.